Hello. Welcome to Christ Centered Gamer's latest unboxings of one of Corsair's newest and most unique keyboards, the Corsair Vanguard 96. Now, Corsair got their start with keyboards, or at least I think it was keyboards or mice, pretty early. They've been an accessory company first before they did anything else. They do a ton of stuff now. Memory, cases, power supplies, whatever. But they still have a love for their keyboards. And this is a very interesting looking keyboard, I have to say. So this is what they call a 96% layout. Good look at the box, front of the box here. And this is the mechanical variety. They also have a Hall effect version of it. And what makes this unique, other than the 96% layout, bug flying around here. Anyway, is it's got an LCD screen on it, it's got a knob on it, but it also has this unique 96% layout. So what makes that unique is that there is oftentimes like a TKL, you'll have, the standard center and then, the arrow keys and the page up, page down, and no number pad. This one forgoes the page up, page down cluster and has the number pad instead. Now I'm assuming that the number pad also acts as page up, page down, but I don't know for sure. We'll find out. Also, this appears like it comes with a wrist rest according to the box, so we'll see how that goes. So yeah, I'm excited to check this out. And also, this is one of Corsair's first keyboards that has removable key switches. So I'm really excited about that, according to the documentation anyway. So let's find out if that is true. It looks like it does include a keycap puller and a switch puller in the box, and a cable and a manual, and so yeah, should be good there. So let's see what we got. All right, we've got a box, we've got a keyboard and a key. Oh, this has to be the most premium keycap switch puller I've ever seen. Look at that thing. What in the world? That is cool. Wow. That is a really cool looking keycap switch puller. Huh. All right, cool. All right. Anyways, sorry, we've got the cable right here, which is a pretty standard looking cable. And then we've got just the keyboard itself, which we'll look at in just a moment. And then we've got that's pretty heavy, actually. A wrist rest, which feels nice and squishy. A warranty guide and manual, or actually, this is just safety and compliance, so nothing important. Unless you really like safety and compliance. And that's it. All right, so let's go ahead and box to the side for now. And let's unwrap some stuff. So let's start with the wrist rest. I am a sucker for wrist rests. I love wrist rests. I long appreciated them. And this is a soft to the touch one. They change them all the time. But yeah, this one doesn't have a texture. Some of them do. The one that from last year's, or was it earlier this year, Hall Effect TKL that I got reserved from Corsair, it had a textured wrist rest with gel. This is a soft touch gel. It's real nice though. I like it. All right, let's go ahead and get rid of the wrapping paper of sorts. And now the most truly interesting part of this keyboard. What is inside here? This is seriously heavy. Wow. This is a very interesting looking keyboard. Okay, so on the bottom, it's got routing channels for cables. It's got a flip feet with only one setting. Okay. Here's a good look at the bottom. Okay. All right. And then, oh, I forgot to mention, it has macro keys on the side. So I really like it. I'm not a big fan of macro keys. I don't usually need them. But if you're going to put them there, anywhere, this is brilliant. It doesn't take up any space. That you can't hit them on accident. Like this is the standard side, right? So you look at the keyboard, there's nothing different on either side, but there's extra keys there. I think that's brilliant. Okay, and then here's a good look at the front of the keyboard. And oh yeah, the cable entry is way down here. So when you put the cable in, you'll have to route it through here. It's not on the top or on the edge on this keyboard. This is a really unique feeling and looking keyboard. Okay, all right. So there's some interesting stuff going on here. All right, so I'm going to show you on the side. You can see little ledgers, like right there. You've got stuff right there. What does that say? So we've got insert here. We've got some kind of lighting thing here, I'm guessing. I'm not sure. Copilot key, don't worry, I won't miss it. And some goofy Elgato key, which that's right, I forgot about that. This has a new Elgato feature. I don't know how much I'm going to care about it, to be honest with you. And I'm glad it doesn't default to Copilot because to disable it on Windows because I hate hitting it on accident. At least with this key, I'd rather do nothing. But if I can turn it to a control, I will. I'll let you know if it's changeable. It might not be in the software. I don't know. But I appreciate that the Elgato key, it allows you to do Stream Deck features with it. So that is pretty cool. But if you don't use that, you don't use it. All right, so we've got some legends up here. So this is the Windows lock. I'm not sure what this one is or this one. These are for key lighting. These are the media keys. So stop, previous, play, next, volume down, volume up, which is interesting because it's got knobs. It doesn't really need volume up, mute. And it's got another key right here, which I forget what that icon is for. It's got pause right there, print screen right here, delete right here, shift, and another key there. I'm not sure what that does. Same thing here. So there's a few function key overrides. I don't know what they do, so we'll have to find out. Right here is home, page up, page down, and end. Now, and inserts right here. Now, insert I'll never use, but home, page up, page down, and end. I'm pretty sure this is the same layout that the classic numpad has on it. Yep, home, page up, page down, and end. I haven't used those as those buttons in so many years. So I've always had, every keyboard I've always had their own cluster. But I just realized my laptop doesn't have a dedicated home end, page up, page down keys. But I could have used the numpad, turn off the numlock. That's funny. Anyway, and it's got arrow keys right here. And so, yeah, this is interesting. This is a really interesting keyboard. Plus, it's got a screen. It's heavy and it really feels quality. This is a really interesting keyboard. And does this magnetically attach? It does. So there's a magnet in the bottom so that this guy attaches. I'm really curious to see what this looks like turned on. And I'm also curious what you guys think of the sound. It sounds pretty interesting. This keyboard is a surprise to me. They also have the Pro, I think it is. So they have another model for the Hall effect version of it. This is just the mechanical one. But even still, you know, there's nothing wrong with mechanical switches, and some people prefer them, especially since this one should have removable switches, which we will verify in just a moment. But I just want to get this cable started here. Plug it into my secondary computer real quick so that you can see what it looks like with lights on. And so let me go ahead and get that turned on, plugged in. There we go. Okay. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's pretty. So the LCD screen, this is going to be hard to show off, I think. Oh, wow, look at that. That is beautiful. All right, look at that screen right there. That is really, really interesting. Wow. Okay. It's got a spinning Corsair logo that's animated. It's got the RGB action going on. It says 1K. I wonder if that's polling rate. I wonder if it has multiple polling rate options. It's got volume, which volume down and up, which I can see on my little computer that is working, and pushing in does mute. Yep. Yeah, and it says volume up, volume down on the screen, which is really interesting. So maybe it has multiple functionalities you can program into this. Wow, this is really neat. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my notepad over here. Okay, notepad is what? Touchpads are a curse. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn off noise canceling on my microphone. There we go. So you'll hear my dogs in the background or whatever else happens. Look. But anyway, here's what the keyboard sounds like. So, why are you not typing? There we go. This is a new Corsair keyboard. Why did it just stop responding? Oh, that was weird. Oh, there we go. Huh. All right. There we go. Now it's acting proper. This is really quite nice. Huh. The keyboard keys have a nice, a little loud, but not too bad. Real quiet keys. It's got a nice click without being obnoxious. Pretty nice. I don't remember if it's, I'm assuming it's, oh, there it is. Smooth and linear Corsair MLX Plasma. I forgot to mention that. So these are the Corsair MLX Plasma switches. I think they're like a pink. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take this. This is a very compact keyboard, having so many buttons as it does. It's really interesting. Okay, so I just took off the escape key. I believe these are Corsair's PBT switches, keycaps. They've been known to make some pretty decent and affordable keycaps, but these seem to be the same ones. I'm pretty sure. I don't think they're ABS. I'm pretty sure it's PBT. It's double shot shine through, right? We've got what appears to be a front north-facing LED, RGB LED in there. I'm gonna go ahead and try to take this off. This looks like a pretty standard. Yep, there it is. Standard 5-pin. You can see it's got a pink stem right there with a white base, like so, with a hole for RGB lighting in there. My finger's trying to covering it up, but there it all is. So that's standard. These are 3-pin, but this keyboard supports 5-pin switches, which is great news. And there you can see. I know it's hard to tell because of the way this camera handles the light, but it's all there. So yeah, I love that it's hot swappable. It seems to have a nice aluminum, real thick aluminum top. Yeah, really nice actually. Aluminum top with, like I said, north-facing switches, keycaps, LEDs. It's got various media functionality with different volume adjustments, stuff like that. Some keys I don't recall what they do, so I'll probably have to program into. Oh, you push this button and it changes what the screen does. So right now it's on keyboard brightness, macro recording, switch application, vertical scroll, horizontal scroll, zoom, widget change, volume. It changes what the knob does. I forgot, they added this in the previous keyboard I reviewed, but it didn't have a screen to tell you the status. This is actually kind of awesome. This is kind of awesome. The Elgato button doesn't seem to do anything out of the box, which is good. If you don't want Stream Deck support, you don't need, and it's better than Copilot, so that's good. So I'm going to try using media. Okay, it doesn't do previous track, next track for this knob, and then pushing into play pause. Oh, that's so cool. Track jogging if you want to skip forward in a track, jogging forward, jogging backwards. Keyboard brightness, yep, down, up. You can probably see that, yeah, down, up. That's awesome. Okay, pick the middle for now. Macro recording, which I'm not really going to use right now. Switch application. I wonder what that does. Oh, switch application is showing up Alt-Tab. You can't see this. I can see it on my little computer here, but yeah, I can switch between apps. That is really neat. Vertical scroll does exactly what it says. Horizontal scroll should do what it says. I don't have an app open that has that. Zoom is doing exactly what it says, though. Okay, that's cool. I'm pushing it in, resets it. Oh, that is so neat. And then widget change. I'm not sure what widget change does. And then volume again. Okay, I didn't think I'd like this screen, but this is cool. This keyboard is impressing me. There's a lot that I don't know about it yet. I feel like the functionality is gonna really take some time, and the mechanical keys are pretty solid. I really like how it feels. You can like how it sounds. The spacebar is a little loud, but not obnoxious. Caps lock on and off. It gives you the status on the LCD screen. That is so cool. Num lock on and off right there on the screen. What a scroll lock does. Is there even a scroll lock option actually? It might not even be one. Oh yeah. When you press function, any of the keys that have alternative options glow in white and the rest shut off. See? Pretty cool. I like how Corsair keyboards do that. That's really nice. 1.3. Oh, it's wait. Is that pay? Oh, that's another way to if you want to turn off numlock, or you can just use this for home and end. Let me confirm that. Let me see. End. Yep, this was another way to get to home and end. So I can either turn off numlock and get a home and end, or I can leave numlock on and then press function for home and end. Okay, so that's pretty cool. That's a pretty smart thing. So there's two different ways to change your numpad from from various functions. So that's nice. So yeah, you can either numlock or the function key to do that. I don't know what some of these buttons do. So I'm gonna have to figure that out because I don't know. There's a few options. Well, flash tap on and off. That's cool. Pressing this shift turns flash tap on and off. That is so cool. All right, I don't know what that does. I don't know what that does. Yeah, this is a, what does that do? Oh, scroll lock on and off. That's where it is. Okay. So it's function F1. Profile switch. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I don't know what that does. I don't know what that does, at least not now. So yeah, there's a few features that I will have to learn. I didn't think I'd like this screen so much. This is so cool, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm gushing here. All right. This is a really neat keyboard. This is going to take me some time to figure out. Oh, it's got modes. The game mode button. Game mode off, game mode on. Neat. Okay. Well, I think that's enough gushing and interesting exploring on this keyboard for one unboxing. This Corsair Vanguard 96 seems really nice. I'm going to have to spend some time with it. It is expensive. I think it's $179. I think it's been a bit since I looked at the spec sheet, but I should have had that ready. Apologies, but it's a bit more on the expensive side. But it does have some really neat features: a screen, a knob, this unique 96% layout. I think I'm going to like this, but I will let you know my full thoughts in the written review. Take care. God bless, and have a great day.